Tonight, WWE presents a brand new episode of WWE Monday Night Raw from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, streaming live on Netflix. It is John Cena's final appearance as an active in-ring WWE superstar in his home state of Massachusetts. And with the last time being now for Boston, could Paul Triple H Levesque have some major surprises up his sleeve as we get closer and closer to not only WWE Survivor Series and War Games later on this month, but also closer to John Cena's retirement match next month. We'll let you know 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on WWE Monday Night Raw. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and tonight it is a brand new episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, emanating from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, the site of some of John Cena's biggest moments in his WWE career, and for the final time, Cena will be returning to his home state inside of a WWE ring this evening, and there is plenty of other action announced for what is expected to be a big and newsworthy episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. With that being said, as we get closer to not only Cena's retirement, but also Survivor Series War Games later on this month, does Paul Triple H Levesque have some surprises up his sleeve this evening? Let's get into 5 possible major surprises, beginning with John Cena himself. As I mentioned, the last time will be now for Boston, Massachusetts. John Cena has just 4 dates left in his WWE Hall of Fame career, and the never-seen 17-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion will return to the TD Garden tonight for his second-to-last appearance ever on WWE Monday Night Raw. Cena, as I mentioned, just has 4 dates left, 2 of which are going to be taking place on Monday Night Raw tonight from the TD Garden in Boston, and also at Madison Square Garden in New York City as well. Then after that, he's got Survivor Series and War Games. In addition, he's also got his final match, his retirement match at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. With that being said, it's already been announced and confirmed that the greatest of all time, according to WWE, will be kicking off the show to fire up his hometown fans, as the tournament to determine his final opponent at Saturday Night's Main Event next month in Washington, D.C. also gets underway on the show. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But beginning with John Cena, the question is, when he opens the show, what are we expecting to see? Are we going to just get a John Cena opening promo saying that the last time is now, reminiscing on what's happened in that building in the TD Garden on Monday Night Raw in his home state of Massachusetts? Or could we get something that actually starts to possibly, I guess, maybe see what Cena's going to be doing at Survivor Series? Now, it has been reported and speculated that, of course, Cena's got this date at Survivor Series. He's going to be there in San Diego for WWE's Thanksgiving tradition PLE, but the expectation is that he is going to be wrestling at that show. Now, it's been reported that Cena is likely to face off against Dirty Dominic Mysterio with the WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line. That's right. There's one championship, one singles title that has avoided John Cena throughout his Hall of Fame WWE career. He's been a multiple-time WWE champion, a multiple-time WWE World Heavyweight champion, a multiple-time United States champion, tag team champion. Every other championship you can think of, apart from the Intercontinental title. Cena has never won that bout, and the rumor is that Cena could be facing Dirty Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series in San Diego, which of course is Dirty Dom's hometown as well, and defeating Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, becoming this Grand Slam champion in the process, and then likely dropping the aforementioned Intercontinental Championship against Gunther, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history, with a reign of 666 days in his retirement match in Washington, D.C. With that being said, of course, time is limited with Cena. There's only 4 dates left, and 2 of them are coming before Survivor Series in this episode of Raw and a MSG episode of Raw. So it depends what they want to do. They could have a situation whereby maybe Cena has one final match in Massachusetts, and that's the match that opens the show. Maybe that's for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's the title that Cena wins in his home state, in his hometown, even though it's not West Newbury, but still, it's still proper. So the point being is that he could win it there, and then maybe he defends it at Survivor Series once again against Dominic Mysterio. Kind of the idea being, well, You got to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship in your hometown in Boston, Massachusetts. I get to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship in my hometown of San Diego, California. That to me does make quite a bit of sense. So maybe we could see something like that, even though the expectation is that Cena will win the IC title at Survivor Series. What if he wins it this evening? What if it happens this evening? Cena's got limited time left, so anything's possible, I suppose. With that being said, Cena's opening Raw, and he's already started to drop hints that something big could happen this evening. So we'll wait and see what it is. What do you think it's going to be? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, before we move on to the next number on this countdown list, a reminder, this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our affiliates. That includes NordVPN. You can see them right there in the sidebar. Tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw will be streaming live on Netflix. And what if I told you in the United States, you can watch all of your WWE content on Netflix, just like we can over here in the UK. Over here in the UK, we watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main roster PLEs, NXT PLEs, and Saturday Night's Main Event for free on YouTube. And you can too if you're in the United States. All you have to do is get a VPN, change your location to an international territory like here in the UK, and reap the rewards of it. You can save yourself some money, you can support this channel in the process, and then you don't have to worry about SmackDown on USA, NXT on the CW, PLEs on ESPN, NXT PLEs on Peacock, Saturday Night's Main Event on Peacock. You can get that all sorted and save yourself some money and streamline your WWE viewing experience. Use our QR code right there or our custom link. That's nordvpn.com/WN365, nordvpn.com/WN365. It's also pinned in the comment section and it'll be in the video description as well. Let's move on and talk about this is going to be a heavy title-influenced episode of WWE Monday Night Raw this evening. We've got several title matches on the broadcast. The Women's Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. Despite their loss to Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at WWE Crown Jewel Perth, Asuka and Kairi Sane are adamant they are still the class of the Women's Tag Team division. After defeating Bayley and Lyra Valkyria last Monday on WWE Monday Night Raw, the Kabuki Warriors traveled to SmackDown on Friday and surprised Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss with a backstage missed attack. That sneak attack motivated the Women's Tag Team Champions to travel to Boston to put their titles on the line later on this evening. So we're going to be getting this Women's Tag Team title match. A bit like all of the other tag team title defenses recently, I err on the side of I think that Flair and Bliss retain the Women's Tag Team Championships here. We saw on SmackDown on Friday, didn't we, that it looks like that Flair and Bliss are going to kind of have a rivalry for Raw and a rivalry for SmackDown. The rivalry on SmackDown certainly does look like it's going to be involved with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Lash Legend just being called up to the main roster. She's officially now on SmackDown. She's going to be with Nia Jax moving forward. So you don't have Lash Legend debut in the way that they had her debut, or return to the main roster, shall we say, in the way that she returned to the main roster. And then suddenly Flair and Bliss drop the Women's Tag Team titles. They're feuding, but not over the belts anymore. That would kind of devalue the feud, wouldn't it? So I don't think that Flair and Bliss drop the titles here. The Kabuki Warriors, they're bulletproof at this point. You can get a good match out of them anytime. It's Asuka and Kairi Sane, for goodness sake. They can have good segments, have good promos, and, you know, I think we probably see a continuation of the tension that has been teased between Asuka and Kairi, to be honest. I think Kairi Sane probably takes the pin. I think the finish could be something along the lines of maybe it's a thing whereby Asuka goes to miss Charlotte or Alexa Bliss. They duck. It goes into the face of Kairi Sane, then Asuka gets thrown out of the ring, then you can see, I know, Twisted Bliss or Natural Selection, and then something like that, and maybe the figure eight as well. Either way, I think we see a situation where Flair and Bliss retain their Women's Tag Team Championships this evening on Monday Night Raw. Now, as I mentioned, it's going to be a title-heavy episode of Raw. We've also got a WWE Women's World Championship match. The Judgment Day picked up a huge victory last Monday night on Raw when Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez knocked off the WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer and WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella in tag team action. That victory has now earned Raquel Rodriguez this massive opportunity to become the new WWE Women's World Champion when she faces La Primera tonight at the TD Garden in Boston. Well, Vaquer be successful in what will be her first title defense, or will Raquel bring the Women's World title back to the Judgment Day clubhouse? Now, Stephanie Vaquer is going to retain her title here. We're not going to be seeing a Women's World title change here. Vaquer's only just won the championship. She won it, of course, at WrestlePalooza. Since then, she's also become the Crown Jewel Women's Champion as well. So they're very, very, very much, they being WWE, very much into pushing Vaquer right now. She's not going to drop the title. What I could see happen, since this is a major surprise, this video, I could see a scenario whereby perhaps you have a situation where Vaquer retains the title. Post-match, you have the Judgment Day trying to beat down La Primera. And then you have a situation where maybe Nikki Bella once again makes the save, comes to the aid, comes to the rescue of Stephanie Vaquer, and then that's maybe where the turn happens. As I've said before, I still think that this is building towards a Women's World Championship match between Vaquer and Nikki Bella. Regardless of if anyone actually wants to see that or not, there's a lot of discussion about Nikki Bella, her in-ring work, and how maybe the whole women's division has passed her by. Was anyone really interested in a Nikki Bella return in 2025? Can she even keep up with, the talent that's currently in the division? People like Stephanie Vaquer. The match against Becky Lynch at Clash in Paris was criticized, saying that Lynch had kind of carried her through the match and what have you. So look, either way, Vaquer, she's retaining the Women's World Championship tonight. That's a fact. We're not going to see Raquel Rodriguez win the title unless there's something going on with Vaquer that we don't know about. But even if that was the case, I don't think the title gets put on Raquel. I think it's just a case to try and get, Raquel into a high-profile spot. In addition to that, have someone whereby Vaquer in her first title defense is not going to drop the world title, is she? Now, as I mentioned, when it comes to Bella, maybe Bella gets involved, and maybe Bella, there's a situation whereby, she could perhaps turn on Vaquer after the match and show her intentions to maybe go after the Women's World Championship. We'll have to wait and see. One thing's for certain, though, as I said, Vaquer, she's retaining the Women's World Championship tonight on Monday Night Raw. Now, speaking of world titles, we're going to be talking about that in just a bit when it comes to CM Punk. But we spoke about John Cena earlier on. We spoke about Cena, and we spoke about his retirement match. Now, it was announced recently during Saturday night's main event. We're going to be getting this tournament, aren't we? We're going to be getting the Last Time Is Now tournament with the winner facing John Cena, getting the honor, the privilege of having John Cena's final match at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. next month. Now, which one do we want to start with? Let's start with Damian Priest versus Rusev. Now, Rusev and John Cena, certainly, they're no strangers to one another. They've battled each other with the United States Championship on the line numerous times throughout their careers, the most high profile of which was at WrestleMania 31, which remains the Bulgarian Brute's actually only singles match ever at the Showcase of the Immortals. Priest, meanwhile, he's never had the honor of wrestling John Cena one-on-one, but he has the chance to earn that opportunity starting tonight in Boston. Who wins that one? That's a really, really tough one. I'm going to go with Rusev probably wins that. Neither one of these guys is going to win the tournament, but I think that maybe you have Rusev win just purely because of the history there. I know that WWE are very high on Damian Priest, of course, former world champion. In addition to that, moving over to SmackDown, he's one of the top baby faces on that show. But I just think Rusev probably wins given the history, and maybe he cuts some kind of Cena promo. Maybe that's something that happens there. Now, it's not the only Last Time Is Now bout that's going to be taking place on the show, because we're going to be having two stars that Cena does actually have history with both here. It was nearly 16 years ago that Sheamus defeated John Cena in one of the biggest upsets in WWE history at the time. He'd only just been on the WWE roster for not that long at all. And he had only been on Raw that long as well. But he defeated John Cena at WWE TLC in a tables match. He captured the first WWE Championship of his career. Now, Sheamus has one final opportunity to face the greatest of all time. His road to Washington, D.C. starts tonight with this match against Shinsuke Nakamura, who also does have history against John Cena. Some argue that Shinsuke Nakamura's downfall came against John Cena in WWE. It was on an episode of SmackDown back in 2017, I think it was, when Shinsuke Nakamura wrestled Cena in the main event and he dropped him on his head. He did his reverse exploder, dropped Cena on his head. There were worries that Cena might have broken his neck. You could see Nakamura after the match, explicitly saying, I'm sorry. Cena saying, you don't have to apologize. In recent years, it's been reported that maybe Nakamura got chewed out backstage because of it. He nearly dropped the golden goose on his head kind of scenario. I think Sheamus wins this one. It should be a good match, but I think Sheamus wins. And once again, because of the history, I mean, the Cena retirement tour has been a lot about nostalgia, and there are some names that he mentioned that he's not going to be able to face. He's not going to face Rusev or Sheamus in his retirement match, but I think this is also a way of paying tribute and history to two people that had their biggest moments in their WWE career come courtesy of John Cena. So I think that's a nice way to pay respect. And finally, CM Punk, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, is confirmed to be appearing tonight on WWE Monday Night Raw. And it's going to be really interesting to see, certainly, what he has to say. No doubt about it, because last week, it didn't go very well for John Cena. John Cena's legendary rival, that being CM Punk. CM Punk has issued an open invitation for Cena to come get a piece if he wants to revisit their rivalry one final time, but I don't think that's going to be the case. The World Heavyweight Champion has got his hands very full, doesn't he, with the Vision and Logan Paul. Last week on Raw, it looked like Logan Paul was actually coming to the aid of CM Punk earlier on in the evening. Later on, in the main event, he got sucker punched by the Maverick with brass knuckles, and then, shockingly, Logan Paul gave said brass knuckles to Paul Heyman, seemingly joining the Vision, or at the very least, aligning with them. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Punk this evening. I think you have a situation where maybe, Punk's there, Logan Paul's there, Heyman's there, of course, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. Maybe this is where we get the War Games challenge. Maybe this is where we get the confirmation. Maybe this is when Roman Reigns possibly returns to Monday Night Raw. There have been all of these rumors, haven't there, that one of the War Games matches at Survivor Series is going to be a team led by CM Punk and Roman Reigns, similar to last year where they were sort of not co-captains, but CM Punk was on the Bloodlines War Games team. And maybe this year we get something similar. Punk and Reigns teaming up once again to go up against the Vision, who now seemingly have Logan Paul in their ranks as well. So I think we could possibly see that War Games match get much more fleshed out or possibly even confirmed for later on this month. So there you go, guys. There are 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on WWE Monday Night Raw from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, streaming live on Netflix. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions? What are your opinions? Let me know, as always, in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.